Hello, today we'll be unboxing a Gigabyte X570 Aorus Master motherboard. This is a gaming motherboard and it sports the AM4. So this socket is for a new AMD Ryzen 9, which we'll be using in our brand new build. If you want to see that, subscribe. Of course, if you like this particular video, please consider giving us a thumbs up. So let's take a quick look. This is all the features you'd expect from a modern motherboard. It's got DDR4. It has, as I mentioned, the AM4 socket, which, although it supports older processors, it does support the brand new Ryzens, including the 5900X. So you'll also find things as like Wi-Fi 6, which is the new standard. So you get faster, more range. You'll find a couple of the ports in the back provide faster gigabit Ethernet and 2.5 gigabit Ethernet, as well as sporting the X5700, as the name suggests, which is the chipset by AMD. That is the highest or best chipset available right now for the AMD processors. It also sports the PCIe 4, which I understand Intel now just introduced. AMD had this prior, so this will allow us to have faster NVMe drives, for example, right on the motherboard. So let's go ahead and open this, and I'm expecting a lot of wires in here. So let's take a quick look. Well, the presentation isn't overwhelming at first, as you can tell. So let me show you the motherboard, and the motherboard, of course, is always well packaged. Now this is the heart of the brand new system, so we'll put this here. And we'll take a quick look underneath it just to show you what else comes with it. So we have a lot of stickers. So for those of you who like to deck out their machines, there's a very small book with it that explains to you how to add memory and so forth. There's actually a full book here with a CD/DVD in there. Haven't seen one of these in a while. And we won't be putting a CD or DVD player in this build, by the way. I haven't used one of these in years. So let's dig a little more. And we have, surprisingly enough, not too many wires. I mean, part of my problem with some of these motherboards is sometimes there's so many wires in there that it was awkward and you'd be left with a huge bundle which you would display somewhere. So we have a wire for the Wi-Fi 6. I don't know if I'll go through all of it, but this is Velcro straps, so that's nice if you want to keep your build. There's a couple of thumb screws that are given. Let me put all these out. Of course, you have the typical cables if you want to plug in traditional SATA drives. And this appears to be a 6-pin connector. It actually says G connector on it. I just said 6, but it's got more than that. So this will help you with the motherboard. And let's see what else there is. There's a bunch of other wires for various things. They're all explained. And some of these will go to your case, potentially. And I think one of these is for the USB. And one of them is for power and for the reset button on your case. So that's a lot of little wires. And we'll see in the build that it takes a bit of time and ability to plug them all in if you have big fingers. So let's take a look at the motherboard itself. Now, if you're going to be touching, manipulating motherboards, electronics, video cards, please, I highly recommend that you have something to get rid of static electricity off of your body so that you don't zap anything and destroy your brand new product. So let's go ahead and open this. This is an anti-static bag. And here we go. This is the first looks at, and it's got a lot of plastics around it, stickers, so you can take those off. Actually, right now I'm going to be ripping them more than, there we go. Okay, so you can see, so the processor will go here. We have 4 memory slots. The memory that we'll be using is DDR4 3200, and we'll be using G.Skill. I mentioned in another video NVMe drives. Actually, I mentioned NVMe drives a lot. This one has 3 slots for it. These are the fastest type of drives that you can get. This motherboard supports, and the processor of course supports PCIe 4. I mention that because those drives will be faster if they're compatible to PCIe 4. So in our case, we'll be using some that can reach 5,000 megabytes per second for read. So, and it's 2 terabytes. So we'll have a lot of space and it'll be quick. Apart from that, on the motherboard, looking at it, I guess the main features are the back of it here. So we've got, let's see, so we've got our on off, and we have, actually these allow you to flash the BIOS, which is something that you may need to do if you're getting a brand new AMD, like a 5900X for example. You may need to get the latest firmware for it to be recognized or usable. So these are related to flashing and resetting the BIOS. This is for the Wi-Fi. Looking at this from up top here, so what we've got is we have some USB. We got USB 3. We got USB 3.1. We also have a USB 3.1. This is a USB-C. And we have, as you can tell, 2 different ports here for the network. So one of them is a traditional Gigabyte, or Gigabit rather, cable, and the other one is a 2.5. So that means it is 2.5 times faster than the original. And you, of course, it will scale down. So if you don't have a switch on the other side, if you don't have a router that goes at that speed, it will simply drop, in which case you have 2 ports that you could use at gigabit speeds. So we've got the rest is dedicated to the sound and audio. I'm Bob Pellerin, CTOBOB. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave us comments below, and of course you can visit us at www.ctobob.com.